Well, for more on that story, I'm joined now by Ivan Eland in Washington, D.C. He's a senior fellow and director of the Center on Peace and Liberty. Ivan, thanks so much for joining us. We have long been aware of the power play between Iran and Saudi in the region. So just how dangerous an escalation is this now?
Well, I think it could possibly be. The two sides are still apparently going to meet over the Syrian peace talks, but I think it does cast that effort into really a kind of, surreal suspension, because these two sides, who they had to drag them to get them to the table. But I think the Syrian peace talks could be severely impacted by this. And also, I think Shiite-Sunni split could widen in the region and make for more instability in other countries as well.
So where do you think, though, this leaves the United States and its staunch support for Iran and the nuclear deal, and really in bringing Iran back into the international fold?
Well, I think you saw John Kerry call both Saudi Arabia and Iran and asked them to, calm things down. And he was in touch with the Iranian foreign minister, who he's had a good working relationship with over the nuclear deal. So I think the U.S. Now that it has had this nuclear deal with Iran, it's more neutral than it would have been had that not happened.
But do you think this tension compromises Western allies of both Saudi and Iran in this case?
Well, I think, it's hard to say. I mean, every situation is different, but I think basically the two sides line up on the Sunni-Shiite divide, but Iran does have relations with these other countries. So, it complicates things for everyone all around that these two regional powers are at each other's throats, and even more so after the execution and the embassy sacking.
Okay, Ivan, why do you think Saudi went ahead with the execution of Sheikh Nimr al Nimr, knowing the kind of rage it would foment around the region?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't really want the Syrian peace talks to go forward or have any result. The other thing is the Yemen situation. Perhaps they don't want a solution there either. So it could be. I mean, it was certainly a provocative act when the great powers are trying to get the two countries, Iran and Saudi Arabia, together at the Syrian peace talks. And I think it does undermine both of those efforts and the Yemeni efforts as well.
Okay, Ivan Eland, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us live from Washington, D.C.